Y'all. I hope y'all are well. Got a really cool video that I want to show you, and it is about the solar eclipses over the United States since this country became a nation. And El Shaddai the El Shaddai channel did a really cool thing and put all the solar eclipses with the time frames together and showed how those time frames coincided with war. And so he did a really good job, and I want to just play this video for you so that you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at from a spiritual and a biblical sense. I know I don't often get into this depth, but I thought this was really timely because of the things that are going on right now. And just so many of our people, true Yasharel, are asleep and they don't really understand the times that we're living in. So check this video out. Let me play it for you.
How many total solar eclipses have been over the United States since we became a nation in 1776? Anybody know? I will tell you. 8. Here's when they occurred. We had 2 in the 1700s. 80 years later, we had 3 in the 1800s. 92 years later, we had 2 in the 1900s. We're now in the year the millennium or whatever, 2000 of the century. If you see, there's only 7 there. When was the 8th one? It's in this century. 38 years later, on August 21st, which was the great American eclipse that went from Oregon all the way down through the Carolinas. Everyone remember that? Okay, here's what's significant. That was the 8th one, and 8 always speaks of new beginnings. Okay, it's the first year of a new Shemitah cycle, and the 9th year would be the second year. But get a load of this. Solar eclipses always refer to the nations, judgment on a nation. A lunar eclipse always refers to judgment toward Israel. This is a solar eclipse, and it is the very first total solar eclipse exclusively to the United States since before the nation's founding in 1776. The one that happened in...
All right, so y'all heard that. So if you are under any impression that this nation is not going to be judged and it's not being judged, you are sadly mistaken. And for Yasharel, this is an indicator for us that we need to get ourselves in order. We need to cry out. We need to repent. We need to obey the law, statutes, and commandments and do what we can, even though we're in captivity. And just the way that this system is set up, it's like almost impossible for us to do the things that we're supposed to do as Israelites. But do what you can and pray and repent and cry out so that we can be delivered, because this nation is going to be judged. And of course, judgment always begins when it comes to the people with the house of Yasharel and Yaakov. So we have to be prepared for judgment among our own people, which means there are going to be a lot of people among us who are not with us over the next couple of years because they're going to perish. We got to understand that and work to be found worthy to escape.
2017 was the one and only in our history total solar eclipse that only hit the United States. It didn't hit Mexico. It didn't hit Canada. We were the only country. What that means, God put a target on our nation. We're going to be judged. Now,
And y'all know why we finna be judged. We got so much blood spilled, our blood, Yasharel's blood spilled. The whole nation is a prison planet because of this country. This country has never repented for what it's done to Yah's chosen people. this country has stolen Yah's earth and destroyed Yah's creation, lied to the people, lied about people, Yah's chosen people. Then you think about all the stuff that's happening today. Like, this is just a spinoff of Rome. So that doesn't include polluting the earth, progressing the alphabet agenda, basically making the new Tower of Babel, which is the AGI, the artificial intelligence. So this country has done everything in its power to build a new Tower of Babel, a new Babylon, Egypt, and it's going to be judged. It's caused Yah's people to mock him, sin against themselves, sin and keep themselves in captivity and disobey the Most High. And we forgot who we were. They created an entire Bible to mislead us and lie to us, basically editing Yah's words, adding to and taking from when you're not supposed to do that. So this nation is going to be judged. It is going to be judged for white supremacy, first and foremost, along with the rest of the West. But it's going to be judged. And so for the people who are like, I'm going to vote my way out of this, honey, ain't no voting finna stop this wrath. For those of you who think, this is my country, I'm going to stay here, stay on here. Because the fire is coming. This country is going to pay. The leaders of this country know this, which is why they are resigning, which is why they're doing everything they can to burn it down. You got to know the end is almost here. This empire is about to collapse.
Watch this. April 8th of 2024, this next spring, is the 9th solar eclipse to go over America. Now, let's go back and also realize April 8th is Nissan 1, which is very significant. So let's look at patterns. The two solar eclipses that happened in the 1700s, what was going on at that time? The Revolutionary War. The three solar eclipses that happened in the 1800s, what was going on? The American Civil War. During the 70s, what was going on? The Vietnam War. Okay, so August 21st, 2017, which is exactly 7 years before this one in April, will there be war? That's been the pattern. But the next one isn't until 2044, the next solar eclipse. So I really believe that we're headed for interesting times because this is the 9th eclipse, and 9 is the last of the single digits, and thus marks the end. It's significant of the conclusion of a matter. It's the number of finality or judgment. And it looks like war. Okay, let's go back to our notes a minute. I'm going to put this up on the screen too. Numbers 1, we're going to look at verses 1 through 3. They're done traveling or sitting at the mountain for a year. It's time to go to war and get the promised land. Numbers 1, 1 through 3, the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness, in the tabernacle, on the first day of the second month. Whenever you're reading the Bible and you hear the first day of the month, you think of new moon. There's always a new moon on the first month. You also think of blowing the shofar because they blow the shofar on the new moon.
All right, so you see what the new moon looks like in this picture. It's not the new moon that they put on our calendars that they taught us to look for, because according to the Romans or the Gregorian calendar, the new moon is a full moon, but that's not so. This picture here, this is actually what a new moon looks like. And shout out to Brother Yuda in his channel who did a couple of lessons about the moon. It's really important that we understand that. And when all the communications go out, all of everything ends, and you don't know day from night and you don't know the time, you will need to know how to keep Sabbath. And, when times are, and the Israelites or the Hebrews kept time using the moon. So that is something that our people really need to hone in on and learn how to do, because it's going to help us if we are going through these tribulations and we don't have time, because we don't have clocks, we don't have calendars, we don't have dates. You have to do things manually. And so this is a way that Yah used to communicate with us that no man can change. Although they're trying, they can't change it.
But they also blow the shofar when they're about to go to war. Both are happening at this time. In the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go what? To war. All that are able to go to war in Israel, you shall number them by their armies. If you're going to go to war, you
So this is really important for us, because we think we've been taught by Christianity that we just gonna pray and the rapture gonna come get us and we just gonna float out of here. We're gonna escape every bad thing and everything's gonna be good. No. Do you see what they said? Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war, which means we're going to have to war with our hands and brains to get out of here. This is something that most of our people don't really understand. Those of us who are awakened, even those of us who are awakened, I don't really think we grasp what it's going to take to get out of here, because the Egyptians are not going to let us go. These heathens are not going to let us go. The children of the corn are not going to let us go, because they understand when we leave what happens to them, what happens to their rulership, what happens to their resources, what happens to their slave, class that they have had to build up this nation and much of the West for centuries. It's over. So this is significant. This eclipse, what it signifies, the um, numerology behind it is really important. And I don't think we really grasp how important it is.
better get organized.
When you have auto glass damage, trust SafeLight.
In this regard, I don't want to really hold up this video, but I just want to show you that there are only a couple of times throughout the history of this nation that they have had such eclipses, and this year is going to be a significant one. So this is why I stress for those of us who are awakened and who are chosen to make sure we are doing what we need to do to prepare, to repent, to cry out, to try to awaken our brothers and sisters, because they really don't know what's coming. And so that we can also, give honor to our Creator, because He has left us so much information. And, when I see things like this, I just really feel like He's poured out His Spirit, His Ruach, all over the globe, and people are prophesying and teaching lessons and things I would have never um, thought I'd get over the last couple of years. But like, so much stuff is just opening up, and I really, really, really do, appreciate being alive during this time. I hope you do too. It's scary, but it's exciting. And I'm looking forward to this eclipse when it comes in April. I don't know what's coming, but I know I just feel tired. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for this country to be judged. The people here, they hate us so. I'm ready for the Creator to avenge us. I'm ready to see His wrath, and I know when we see His wrath, it's going to be something that we've never seen before. So it's going to be scary, but I'm still ready because I'm just so tired of being mistreated. I feel the burdens of my ancestors. I feel the burdens of the people that, we often speak for who don't have a voice. Just tired. And so, when these things start happening, I'm ready for judgment of this nation. It's overdue. I'm a little fearful about the judgment for Jacob and for Israelites because I know so many of us are not in line and we're not ready. So I pray that the Creator has mercy and grace upon us because a lot of us are just really misled and misguided and just we don't trust and we're misled. So let us do what we need to do to prepare for what's coming. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Pray for your sins daily, sins of commission and sins of omission. Spend time in the Creator's Word, our instruction manual, the Old Testament, and just make sure you are understanding the gravity of being alive during this time. I anticipate we are going to see miracles and devilment. We cannot underestimate the devilment, but I believe we're going to see miracles and devilment. And we've been chosen to be here. So keep watch. You got to keep watch. That's our job. Keep watch and sound the trumpet. So keep watch, sound the trumpet. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video so that it'll be pushed among the algorithms. Make sure you follow me on Rumble, Odyssey, Instagram, and on Facebook. I will not contact you. I don't post unless I'm booted off this channel. So just make sure you follow me on Rumble so that in the event that I post something, should I be banned from YouTube, you'll get it. Lastly, make sure that, if you like this content, you support the channel. I'm not monetized and I do not get compensated for any of the material that I bring to you. And I don't sell anything because I ain't got time. So if you like this channel, you like the content, please make sure that you uh, donate to the channel. I have a Venmo and a coffee. You could also do a monthly subscription. I'm working on my Substack. I'm starting back writing again. But if the internet is going down, I don't know how much I'll be able to communicate with you. Until I cannot, I'm going to continue to communicate. Make sure you pay attention to that video that I did about Operation Garden Plot and King Alfred's plan. If you have not seen that video, there's one on Rumble, but I've also done another version of it on YouTube, and they didn't take it down, thankfully. But I want you to know what is coming if they declare martial law, if they um, implement these executive orders, what that means for African American Black people and Hispanic people, and why we need to be concerned about what's going on and why we need to keep watch. Because we may not be able to stay in our homes. We may not be able to sit still when things get bad because there's a plan to collect us. And that's what those videos are talking about. So if you have not paid attention to those videos, please make sure that you go watch them. Um, it's vital. It's vitally important, especially after the communications that went down today and last night. I think these are tests, these are dry runs for the actual performance. And so we need to be ready at all times for all things. That's my motto, and I'm sticking to it. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I am out.